Captain's log. She was 3 years old when I left Earth, still clutching stuffed tribbles and asking for bedtime stories. Now, impossibly, she stands before me in a Starfleet Admiral's uniform, an elderly woman with eyes that have seen decades I have yet to live. My daughter, Isabella. We listen in stunned silence as she describes the horrific scene witnessed by Captain James T. Kirk aboard the Defiant, adrift, phasing out of existence, its crew having turned on one another in a frenzy of madness. We were meant to die there, all of us, but we didn't. Isabella intervened. She violated time itself to change our fate, and yet she did so in a way that ensures history still records our deaths. Captain Kirk still finds the dead aboard Defiant. The timeline remains intact, at least the one he knows. As far as Starfleet is concerned, the Defiant and its crew are lost, consumed by interphasic space. We can never return. Not to our time, not to our lives. But there is more bad news, as we are about to find out. Captain's log, supplemental. We are reeling from the devastating news that Admiral Preston has just delivered to us. Unfortunately, she is not finished. There is more bad news.
I am from a federation of the 25th century, a federation that is under threat by the sudden appearance of these planet killers. They were going from system to system and destroying every planet along the way, and then devouring the remains to fuel themselves. Home worlds belonging to the Romulans, Klingons, Orions, Andorians, Vulcan, all gone, including Earth. We surmised that the best way to destroy them was the same way Captain Kirk once did, with a massive matter-antimatter detonation inside the maw of the machine. We quickly developed a new class of high-yield torpedoes for the task, but time had already run out. The doomsday machines were upon us in staggering numbers. Most of our ships were already locked in battle. Amid the chaos, distributing the upgraded weapons was nearly impossible, and only a handful of vessels received them. The majority of the fleet had no choice but to fire as many torpedoes as they could down the maw of the doomsday machines, and hope it was enough. That tactic failed. Most ships quickly ran out of ammunition, and they were destroyed. For every doomsday machine we managed to bring down, it seemed like two more took its place. It was like trying to hold back a tidal wave with our bare hands. By the time they moved on to both the Gamma and Delta quadrants, the devastation they had created was irreversible. Both Alpha and Beta quadrants were decimated. We became refugees in our own galaxy. Survivors started to pack themselves into space stations and spaceports. Caravans of starships of every class and of every species wander across the quadrants like nomads. The weak and the helpless became targets by opportunistic gangs or raiders. What was left of Starfleet was spread thin, trying to bring some resemblance of order. For everyone in my time, it's a battle for resources and dominance, a battle for survival.
Isabella. Admiral. I'll admit, I'm struggling to take all of this in. What you've shared is devastating. The scope of it, the loss, the sheer weight of it all. I can barely begin to grasp it. But we can't afford to be paralyzed. There's work to be done. What do you recommend as our next step?
Captain, I never wanted to bring this burden to you, to any of you. But the urgency of our situation leaves no room for hesitation. Commodore Decker and I have first-hand experience with the doomsday machines. If we're to stand a chance, the two of us must lead the initial analysis. I propose we initiate a deeper dive in our analysis of the station and its systems. I'll need Commander Lepole and Lieutenant Commander Shintara to assist.
They're yours. Whatever you need, Admiral. Once you've completed your initial review, report back to the senior staff. We'll be ready. Captain's log. Morale aboard the Defiant is faltering, and how could it not? It's hard to kindle hope when hope itself feels obsolete. We now stand vigil beside a relic of unimaginable devastation, a station built not to explore, not to preserve, but to manufacture doomsday machines. It is dormant, for now, but it feels like the kind of silence that listens. Only hours ago, we learned the full weight of our situation. When we were pulled outside the galaxy and flung 2 centuries into the past, we believed, perhaps clung to the idea, that this was a puzzle we could solve, a detour, a glitch, something we could correct with ingenuity, persistence, and a little Starfleet luck. We were wrong. We were never meant to survive. Our fate had already been written, until my daughter, from a future I will never live to see, reached through time to save us. She shattered the rules of causality to give us another chance, not for ourselves, but for something greater. For this, we are not ghosts. And yet, we no longer belong to the world we left behind. To return would be to unravel time itself, a violation of the Prime Directive, the Temporal Directive, and something even more sacred, the right of time to unfold without interference. We can never go back. I have lost my daughter, not to death, but to time. The little girl I was meant to raise is gone, replaced by a woman who carries my eyes, my stubbornness, and a lifetime I was never part of. She walks these halls beside me now, older than I will ever see her become, and still I mourn the child I will never know again. Her laugh, her tears, they now belong to memory, not to me. That ache runs deep. Still, I am the captain. My grief is a burden I must bear in silence for the sake of the crew. They too have lost everything, their families, their futures, their place in the galaxy. They need time to mourn, but they will also need purpose, and soon. Because this station may sleep, but I fear it dreams. And when it wakes, it will not be alone. We were saved for a reason. My daughter believes it is to help her destroy this place, to prevent what it was built to create from ever rising. Maybe that's the truth. Or maybe it's the last flicker of hope clinging to a broken timeline. But either way, we survived the impossible. Now we must earn that survival.
She has the technology to send us back, doesn't she?
I'm sorry, Ensign.
Admiral Preston, she has the technology and the ability to send us home. Am I wrong?
Ensign Daniels. I don't know all the details of what the Admiral is capable of.
Captain, I know this violates every regulation in the book. I hate that I'm even thinking it. But she broke all those rules, bent time itself, to bring us here. So why can't she break them again to take us back?
She didn't do it for us. She did it for the mission, for the future. A future none of us were ever meant to see.
And yet, here we are, breathing, stranded, watching over a sleeping monster. I know what the directives say. But if Starfleet is gone, if the Federation is ashes in her time, then what exactly are we still upholding? At what point do the rules stop mattering?
They matter because we choose to uphold them. Not because someone's watching, but because they define who we are, even when everything else has been taken from us.
And yet, this doesn't explain the actions of the Admiral.
I won't pretend to understand the weight she carries, the world she came from, and she outranks me now. That's a conversation above my clearance, and deep in my heart.
But she is still your daughter. Can't you just scold her for being a bad girl?
Believe me, I've wanted to. But it's hard to ground someone who's lived a life you've never seen.
I'm scared, sir. We all are. But I trust you. We all do. If anyone can get us through this, it's you.
And I trust you, Ensign. You're exactly the kind of officer we'll need in the days ahead. Both of you. Take the time you need. Mourn what you've lost. But stay ready. The moment is coming, and we'll need everyone at their best. I need to know the status of that station and its occupants. Are we under any immediate threat from those things?
All are in a dormant state. We don't detect any signs of a power curve. So, for the time being, we are safe. But that could change.
But what caused this station to become active? Was it the station itself, or did someone else find it and created this future nightmare?
Like Varen's benefactor.
It's more than likely that before the Defiant was brought here, that Varen somehow managed to stumble over the facility and reported it back to his mysterious benefactor. And that same benefactor activated the station.
So, they activated the machines, and they specifically targeted our galaxy and the Federation. We are in the 21st century. How do they know about us? The Federation wasn't even formed yet.
They probably didn't know, Lieutenant. It's more than likely that whoever originally found the station lost control of the machines, and they followed the same course that Commodore Decker and Captain Kirk encountered.
There is another possibility. By bringing us here, we could have been the ones who accidentally created this disaster.
Temporal mechanics. The more I try to think about it, the more my headache gets worse. Do you think we can somehow command those things to self-destruct?
A self-destruct command is likely to be heavily encrypted. But what if there's an alternative, something less protected, that could destroy the entire station?
I'm listening.
One thing we found particularly unusual about this station is its ability to produce doomsday machines in massive quantities. That would require almost incalculable energy and a steady influx of raw materials, especially out here in the void. But here's the thing. This station isn't equipped with any conventional supply infrastructure.
Go on.
What we have detected is evidence of exotic technology, devices that appear capable of opening a narrow wormhole, likely connected to the core of a dying star. Through that pinhole, the station could be drawing in both energy and matter. But here's the vulnerability. The size of that wormhole has to be precisely regulated. If it expands even slightly beyond its safety threshold, even for a microsecond, it would vaporize the entire station, along with every doomsday machine aboard.
Fascinating. But wouldn't that also destroy everything else in the area?
Not likely. The wormhole can't sustain itself without the station's containment systems. As soon as the station is destroyed, the wormhole would collapse, instantly.
So what you are saying is we need to find a way to start up the system and put a proverbial brick on the throttle. Seems like we need to send an away team to the station.
Transporters won't be effective. Sensors are still unable to penetrate the station's hull. So, whoever is going across, they will have to use the shuttlecraft. We should also presume that life support is offline, so the away team will need to wear environmental suits until we can bring them back online. This will be a perfect opportunity to test out the environment suits that both Lieutenant Hicks and myself have been working on. Our current suits are just not up to the task anymore.
Then our plan is clear. Myself, Commander Lepole, Mr. Coleman will head over to the station. Miss Risa, we'll need your linguistic skills to translate and decode any information we'll find over there.
Ryan, I know that this is your command, but can I make a recommendation? Seeing as we can't locate the station's control room with the Defiant's sensors, and because of the sheer size of it, you're going to need a second team to help expand the search.
An excellent idea, Commodore. We'll need to see who will lead that second team.
I was hoping that would be me, if, of course, that's possible.
It's fine by me, but are you sure you're up to it, Matt? But you've been through a lot. You still need time to process all this.
There was a reason we brought the Commodore here. Not many people get a second chance. You're going to need his help.
Very well. Miss Shintara, we'll need 2 shuttles prepped and ready for departure within the hour.
The Orinoco and the Ganges will be ready for you both.
If there are no other questions, we will make our preparations. Dismissed. Doctor!
Doctor?
You have Bendai syndrome. It seems that she's in the final stages. I'm sorry.
So the fool was right. But this Starfleet vessel is very intriguing.
Indeed, Commander. But for now, our prize is waiting for us to claim it. A prize that is in danger of being taken away from us. Commander, ready a raiding party to greet our unwanted guests. I shall deal with this Starfleet vessel myself.
By your divine guidance, General, it shall be done.
Welcome to the 21st Century Federation. He said that one day they'll send someone to stop us. Soon, the station shall be mine, and I'll let you live long enough to see me send an armada of these planet killers to the Alpha Quadrant. Although it will take 200 years for them to reach their target, he'll be most satisfied knowing that the Federation has been completely decimated by his divine guidance.